it. I ain't bring my notepad, so we're going to freestyle this. Um, ain't nothing new. I don't really have much on it. But there's some news that I came across this morning that's kind of disturbing. And this first and foremost, first and foremost, we're going to talk about that magazine ban that Biden trying to pop out real quick. I'm like, I ain't really too worried about per se like the law itself as much as I have my concerns about the aftermath and what happens normally whenever presidents tend to do these whole um, threats to the Constitution, I guess, the two-way Constitution, the Second Amendment. Because then start getting a surge in like anything firearm or anything two-way related, really. Courses, classes, ammunition, firearms. Price of all these things tends to go up whenever people tend to threaten um, Americans' constitutional right to bear arms. It's a pretty wild law because it just says basically um, a assault rifles are, and I don't know, assault weapons, not rifles. It says assault weapons. I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you, because you can assault anyone with anything. I would go in the shade, but it's kind of cold, so we gonna do this in the sun, even though I feel like I'm getting blinded by it. But it's really, really cold. We rocking that military G-Shock, some Uggs, but not like like Uggs, just Uggs. We at the park with the kids, a little family time. So they doing their thing out here in this playground. I don't want to put any other people's children on my videos, so we're going to use your imaginations. Little kids, playgrounds, they playing. So I figured it's time. We had something to eat just now. We came from Chick-fil-A and all that. Um, yeah, I gotta train my children how to like be frugal. Be My man ordered a kids meal with an adult drink. I don't even know where they do that. Like, where does that even begin to make sense? But I was like, can you even do that? The person there, because they're like nice to kids. She's like, yeah, we can. I'm like, I want you to say no because I don't want to do it. Like, get an apple juice like a normal person. My man got a whole lemonade with a kids meal, and he took man long to eat the kids meal. But I digress. And it's getting hot though. That's something serious. That's how you know summer coming up. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I wouldn't rock with my man on a political level though. Oh, Biden, I'm talking about. But that dude a G too, man. Him and Trump, they some real gangsters. That dude do whatever they want, and people just move it to like if you observe the situation on the climate like of the country at the time where one is in office, um, you gotta say, man, they be doing some wild stuff, man, and it's like the media just be on a rah rah with this, that's what dude do. Dude could be like meteorites are coming down, and ain't nobody gonna say like anything. So it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. I mean, but what are we gonna do, man? It's been like this. I think that the only issue I have now is like I'm older, so I'm a little bit more sensitive to like political changes. But when you see like your children, they don't really feel the effects of none of this, which is why that's what it's for. It's for the kids, man. It ain't really for us. It ain't really for us. So we got to make the right decisions to try to protect their interest. Because when they get older, they gonna have to eventually deal with all this. And kind of want to make them. You kind of want to build up a level of tolerance, have them be a little bit stronger, so that they don't like mess it up even more for their children. And next thing you know, they live in underground like mole people because they done destroyed the planet with wild politics, like emotional politics. And you don't want them to be emotional people. You want them to have emotions, but it's like you don't want them to be emotional. That's a problem I think with a lot of people. And at one point, I'm pretty sure I was there. But it's just all these emotions. That's what leads to affiliations, and then lead to cliques. And all the issues we have is always based off of emotions. You know what I mean? I just feel like we could do better, but we don't. And it's a choice. It's a choice. I feel like majority of us choose not to do better because of our constituents. You know what I mean? So it's like, something might come up and it might not necessarily agree with our lifestyle or the way that we think, but because, we're trying to like whoop will be friends with everybody, or we don't want to be the divergent, we kind of agree with what everyone else is doing. And that's like a bad habit, you know what I mean? Because for the most part, I already said that we adopt the people around us kind of help create who we are. And then if you start adopting certain mentalities to protect your self interest, well, you're gonna kind of bring that to your child and your children where they're gonna start thinking like that too. And then you're gonna have a whole bunch of messed up people. It's crazy because it's like the need to be liked is just so strong in certain people that you tend to lose yourself because you don't want to be who you are because you might not get accepted by whatever audience you're trying to get in with. But I'm here to confirm with you, like I don't care about that. And I mean, I don't really care what anyone else do. And I ain't trying to find no quote that kind of rhymes with my mentality right now, or that I have, but I just genuinely don't like care, and it ain't targeted at anyone. But I just noticed that, that the world we live in, there's a lot of people who contradict how they feel for something because they want to be socially accepted. And it's real big these days because I remember when social media first started, nobody rated it. Nobody watched it on some noise like I will. There was this, it used to be like, oh, it's imaginary friends and imaginary people. But now that's the thing, right? Now everybody trying to be popular online. Everybody want to go viral. And I ain't knocking it. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that it's a business. So do what you need to do for your business. It's all marketing. But if that's what it is, it's cool. But a lot of people kind of absorb these personas and these personalities because now they feel like they have to kind of like fit a narrative. I remember the rappers used to be doing the thing with lean. They're drinking water, but because of you know their audience, they're like, well, we're gonna pretend like we're drinking lean and rap about all that wild stuff, and then you know in real life, they acting basically, and in real life, people are like going out there and committing all sorts of atrocities, trying to satisfy these wild people. So I just want to put that out there because I'm just noticing a trend, and the problem is too. Like sometimes I find myself in that kind of community where I kind of lose myself because you're trying to fit in with certain people. I don't think I never. I mean, I didn't go that far, but I do know that that is a feeling that always comes like acclamation type stuff. To be accepted and not rejected, and people won't talk about you. I mean, you know, there's love out there for you, but it ain't gonna be from everybody. You got to remember that. A lot of people they have their problems with you, or they don't like what you're saying because they feel like it kind of contradicts what they believe, or whatever. What's the word? Whatever product or merchandise or persona they're trying to promote. So they don't really want any opposition. So when they see you, they kind of they go on a media tour trying to put your name down or behind the scenes they talk dirt about you. I'm just saying that if that's the people you deal with too. You just got to understand that if they talking dirt about you or someone else, they might talk dirt about you too. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody like those flippy floppy type joints. So I'm just putting that out there. You got to be very cautious when you starting to deal with people, especially people online, because at the end of the day, you really don't know. And I could sit here and I could tell you anything, B, but I'm just gonna be 100 with you to the best of my ability and to the furthest of your reach. Like, you know what I mean? This joint is real life because it's become real life. It's how it affects you in every capacity. I mean, like I said before, back in the days, when you saw something on television, it was there and you left it. Nowadays, people bring that joint home. So, whoop de you gotta take care of your mental health and all that noise. So, you know what I mean? Like, you might wanna just take that in consideration. That's all I'm really saying. Because it's hard out there, and it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse. And I think that the problem that a lot of us have whenever we come out to the social media platforms or in just public relations, we forget that the most important product is the people, or part of your product is people. You know what I mean? Like your relationships you have with people, And nowadays, where they could fake make bots and all these things to kind of like defame someone or deplatform someone, it's hard to really know what to believe. And I just feel like no one's really thinking about that, or nor are they talking about it. And a lot of people are catching anxiety because when it comes to doing anything that's interesting to them, they always reflect on the market or the illusion of the market and what's socially accepted. And we think we watch someone else and we like, oh, they doing what they want to do, and we in their whole life, and we thinking that that's real, and it's really not. And then we kind of talk ourselves out of doing anything or speaking on anything or even being ourselves on TV or whatever the case may be, because we feel like they're not gonna like us or like you. You know what I mean? But who cares, right? Because someone commented like on my DM and they were just like, one of my videos I talk. Because when I'm on my videos, right, I'm thinking like this. And pause real quick, right? I'm thinking like this. If I'm talking to someone I don't know, I'm not gonna speak like I'm from like dead style. I'm not gonna be on that do or die like, yeah, hey yo B, when you come through, you gotta make sure you grab that whoop de woo, you gotta like rack that joint real quick, make sure you got the clip. I ain't gonna speak like that. They don't know my dialect ain't what they used to hearing. And this is like an international thing. You gotta be considerate. So people create problems because they just don't like you. But that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I don't really want everybody like me because this ain't for everybody, and I ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I try to be supportive to as much people as possible, but I ain't gonna sit here and even lie to you. Because if I get the vibe that, what I'm saying, that someone trying to play the six, you know what I'm saying? When they speaking someone else, they trying to plead the fifth. Like I don't know about this dude. I'm like, come on, B. Like on them come up tip, like you don't even know money. I'm just trying to make my moves. Ain't nobody doing this to me. Don't get me twisted, but I'm just saying like that's where your mind will go, right? That's where your mind will go. It's just a wild situation. And now, they done use that. We've been like, I want to say brain, but I'm gonna say whoopie. We've been brain whoopie wooed to think that, like, we've been brain joined to assimilate. Like we can't be individuals because we're afraid like someone's gonna steal our ideas or we need some type of suspense. Like we basically adopted the movie mentality. Like life is a movie, and when you put yourself on the camera, you got to have like full production type things going on, and that ain't really it. So when people see you, they're kind of they're not impressed really. They're just like, ah, you're just a regular guy. I'm like, yeah, always been. That's majority of people you meet anyway. Everybody just trying to get that bread. And I listen. I just another thing people gonna always tell you too, that they're not here for the money. I don't think that that's legitimately logical. When someone presses you with some noise about they're not here for the money, then I'm like, why are you here? Every day you wake up is for money. Every day you wake up, you got to spend money. The only people that I know, the only people that I know that don't care about the money, and we meet them all the time, and we don't even pay them. We don't even rate them. We don't care about what's going on in their life. They live a nice, like, quiet, I guess, if you want to call it quiet, like simple life, are homeless people. Like those are the only people that don't really wake up thinking about bread, and everything they want to get is for free. And that's on bond to be, because like you look outside and you see they just chilling. The other day I'm driving. This dude, he was content with things that wasn't even his. He had a bench, not his. He had a scooter he couldn't ride. My man put it in front of his like bench at his bed, and he was just like sitting there like just enjoying it. And I was just like, see, that man right there, he living a life. He living a life. Yeah, I can't do that. Majority of us can't even do that. I ain't gonna sit here and even lie to you. Everything we do requires bread. Therefore, you can't sit here and be like it ain't about the money. But I feel like when people say stuff like that, and this is no blow against anyone specific, because I don't know of anyone who ever said it that I could cut that comes to mind right away. Full disclaimer. But I just feel like it's just another way to discourage like um opponents or people in your market that might take away from your potential fan base. Something you gotta take into consideration. It's a business. And you gotta always think about your competitors when you're doing a business. Everyone could be your friend, fact. But at the same time, how much room is there in your market for everyone? For everyone. I try to stretch myself a little bit, that way I'm touching a lot of different things so that I'm not just like affiliated with one thing specifically. You know what I mean? I deal with a couple of items. I do a couple of things on the side. I got a couple of affiliates that I work with, and more or less, I'm just trying to make it real and cast a really big net. You know what I'm saying? But some people don't do things like that, and some people don't want competition. I remember this one dude on a comment was on some. Well, there's like several people who be just commenting wild things on my videos about like. There was one guy who was like he was like, "Yo, all you need is Jesus," and I'm like, "Jesus also gave me the guns. What you talking about, B? And the knives? What are you talking about? Like you don't even know me, B, and you putting on comments on something about something you have no clue about. All you need is Jesus. Yeah, and he guided me to the store. He made sure I had the finances that I could make my purchase. What are you talking about? That's like you don't know me, B. Stop talking to me like you do. You know what I'm saying? You go on their sites and they got nothing about themselves and they figure they could figure you out by watching a couple of videos. Dude, it's called look, you don't even know what's going on around me. A good example is literally right now, right? Right now it looks like I'm just sitting in the park minding my business. But we are at I am literally, literally at a park. Literally. With a tripod on my phone. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know nobody, man. This is how it is. This is a frame, and I'm framing what I want you to see. Just like that. News do it all the time. That's why you get prime time and all them things. That's why it's called television. Because I'm telling you the version of whatever I want. You support it, you don't. That's on you. I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and like knock you or anything like that. But I'm just like, it bothers me, man, because I feel like a lot of people get lost and no one's really you like they don't have friends to kind of check them to bring them back down. So you know what? I'm gonna bring your asses back down. Excuse my French. I can't curse. See, that's why I be saying whoopie woo and all that noise because I don't really want to start speaking like I'm in the hood or anything like that. So even though that whoopie woo joint sound like hood talk, but needless to say, needless to say, um, yeah, y'all don't you don't got no one's ever really telling y'all how messed up you really are. And how you're just like unaware of what's going on around you. And I be talking to my kids all the time. I'm trying to train them. I make them understand that like you always being watched. You're always being watched. You know what I'm saying? Some people just got the maturity to just not say something to you every time. You gotta keep that in mind. They just, I mean, and at the end of the day, it's sad to say, but some people just setting you up. They just setting you up, and they ready to watch you fall, or they ready to to build a portfolio against you, or whatever they do. What are these people doing? They walking in my video. Oh, let me see if I could hook you up right here. Yep, that looks better. Anyway, I've been saying, yo, this thing is mad hard. That was just like that was a serious note. That was a serious note. But now we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. I think I had said something about magazine bans. Yeah. You know what? Y'all might not like me for this, but that dude Biden, he's 100. He really is do what he say he gonna do, and he crazy as hell, and everyone believe him. Everybody with it. So in my mind, he good in my book. Same thing with Trump. Like Trump is a wild dude, and people rock with him. So I mean, he know what he's doing. He's a professional, and you gotta even if you don't like what they do, you gotta respect the professionalism that they display because it's like, how do you keep a serious face? And I'm not even trying to do this on no disrespect. Like, how do you keep a serious face? Half the things he say and do, half the things he believe. You know what I mean? Like, how do you even like operate? I can't do it. That's a fact. I can't do it. Like, if I don't believe in something, I'm not gonna get on television and be like, yes, yes, this is exactly what it should be like. Everyone, it is an epidemic, and we need to solve it now. I was watching this other thing online, and this dude was talking about I don't want to get into foreign type deals because it's a real sensitive subject, but old boy definitely was talking about um concerns of other countries, but and preserving American interest or whatever the case may be. But I remember a time where American interest, being a patriot, was like racist or xenophobic or everything in the book. And now the same people are saying that you gotta have pride in your country and don't worry yourself what other countries are doing and whoop de woo, this, that, the fit. And I'm like, man, what did we sign up for, to be honest with you? And when I watch my kids play, and I'm like, they're so clueless. I'm like, man, like we got to do more because like if you ain't preparing yourself, like okay, a good deal. Like I said, I went to the academy today, and I was picking up some ammunition and etc. And it's like, man, there's so much stuff here, and I'm like, that's how it always starts, right? Everything seems like it's all good, and then overnight you wake up one day and everything's in chaos. Like one thing happens, and then that's it. Back to the same old. Everything's limited. No food on the shelves. No firearm. I'm like, bans everywhere you turn around. People trying to ban stuff. Talking about this for your best interest. Then you got neighbors trying to take you out because they want to take what you got because they feel like you know they um they weren't prepared enough. They weren't prepared enough for it. And now, boom, you got to body somebody. You got to body a body because they don't know how to act and they ain't prepared. I think that's what I think about all the time. You ever walk out your house and be like, man, who am I gonna have to defend myself from? I don't do it all the time, but I was thinking about that today. Cause oh yeah, here's a good one. So on the news now, the Apple tags, those little Apple tags, those little criminals, surprisingly, have been using them to attract people to rob. That's the thing now. I mean, I don't know what state it was, because the news was like national, but you could buy them from anywhere. Now I ain't trying to promote that, and I think that's wrong. It is a federal crime now. Yeah, they made some law. They signed some. I mean, I don't understand how it is a felony.